Hello, my grade 5 students. I miss you so much. Hope you are all well, and welcome back to a new science lesson. Today we'll continue our lesson about the weather, and we have to know what is the meaning of weather. The weather, it is the state or the conditions of the atmosphere at a certain or specific place and time. So when you talk about the atmosphere and the properties of the atmosphere in a certain place or at certain time, this is the weather. And you can see this in the weather forecast that you can see in the TV or in any other place that describe what would happen to the weather or what would happen to the air around us. And as we know, the weather can changes continuously. The changes can differ from one time to time. So how can you observe and describe weather? Or to describe weather, you have to measure some properties of the air. What are the properties of the air? We have 4 properties: temperature, humidity, air pressure, and wind. By measuring all these properties of the air, you can form a complete vision, or you can describe the weather at a certain time in a certain place. We'll study by measuring the temperature. What is the temperature? The temperature, it shows how hot or cold something is. If you hold a piece of ice, you will feel that it's cold. Cold means it has low temperature. And if you hold a pot of tea or a cup of tea by your hands, you will notice that it's hot. Hot means it has high temperature. Similar to the weather. If the weather is hot, it has high temperature, and if the weather is cold, it has low temperature. Hot weather, you can see the hot weather in summer. You can feel the very high temperature in summer, but in winter you have a cold weather, a low temperature. So in summer a hot weather with high temperature, and in winter a cold weather with low temperature. How can we measure the temperature? The temperature simply is measured by thermometer. There are many types of thermometer. There are medical thermometer that you measure your temperature of your body. You put it under your tongue, or you put it on your forehead and measure your body's temperature. There is another thermometer for measuring the boiling point or the temperature of the liquids, and this is found in the science lab. And to measure the weather, you have a special type of thermometer that's shown here in this picture. You have the thermometer that's used to measure the weather temperature. If the temperature is high, we have hot weather. If the temperature is low, we have cold weather. This is for the temperature. Now we come to another property of the weather, which is the humidity. The humidity is the amount of water vapor found in the air. The air, as we said in the last lesson, that our air is a group of gases. From these gases, the water vapor is found. The amount of water vapor that's found in the air, or the air can hold, this is called the humidity. So the humidity is the amount of water vapor the air can hold. Of course, the warm air can hold a lot of water vapor, so you can feel the hot weather more and more, and that's happening in the summer. In summer there is a high temperature, so more water vapor is found in the air. And as we said before, the water vapor is a greenhouse gas. That means it traps the temperature on the Earth's surface, so you can feel the temperature with more and more uncomfortability. So the larger the humidity, you can feel uncomfortable because you feel the high temperature more and more. And of course, the warm air holds more water vapor than the cold air. Here there is a boy or a man in summer in these two pictures. You can see that this man feels uncomfortable and he feels more and more hotter by the effect of the humidity in summer, because in summer, as we said, the warm or the hot air can carry more water vapor, so it's a greenhouse gas. It traps the heat on Earth's surface, so you feel more and more hotter. Now we come, how can we measure this humidity? Humidity has a special appliance or instrument to measure, which is called hygrometer. Hygrometer. This is the picture of the hygrometer used to measure the humidity in air. And what is the effect of this humidity? This humidity or this water vapor, as we know, form the clouds. So the humid air produces clouds, and humidity is measured by hygrometer. So this time we studied two properties of the air. We'll continue the other two properties the next session, inshallah. And we studied today the temperature and the humidity. You have to know the description or the definition of each one and which is the tool used for each of them. Now we come to our classwork, and of course don't forget to do your homework. You will find this sheet is uploaded on the school site. Now let's answer together this question. The first question, choose the correct answer. The amount of water in the air is called what? Humidity or temperature? Yes, I hear you. That's right, my dear. The amount of water in the air is called humidity. Yes. Warm air can hold more water than cool air. Is this statement true or false? Warm air holds more water? Yes, of course, it's true. The warm air can hold more water vapor, so there is more humidity. Number 3, humidity can make a hot day feel cooler. Do you think? As we said here in this picture, in summer, more temperature, more humidity, more water vapor, you feel uncomfortable, you feel hotter and hotter. So this statement is false. Humidity can make a hot day feel cooler? Of course not. It makes hot days feel hotter and hotter, and you are feeling uncomfortable. Number 4, temperature is measured with what? Hygrometer or thermometer? As we said, the hygrometer for the humidity, but the thermometer is the tool used to measure the temperature. And for the last question, hot weather has low temperature. Is that true or false? Of course, good. This is false, because hot weather has high temperature. Cold weather has low temperature, but hot weather has what? Yes, hot weather has high temperature, so this statement is false. Now we reach to the end of our lesson. Hope you understand everything. I'm waiting for you on our online session. Until we meet again, goodbye, my dear students.